Are you wondering why prosperity seems to escape your home despite all your prayers and efforts? Have you felt that invisible barrier keeping blessings from flowing freely into your life? The answer might be closer than you think, right in your living room or garden. What many don't realize is that certain plants, despite their beauty, could be secretly blocking your spiritual and material abundance. This ancient wisdom, supported by spiritual traditions and even referenced in Padre Pio's teachings, reveals how our surroundings profoundly affect our connection to divine grace. Today, I'm going to share something powerful that could transform your home into a sanctuary of prosperity and peace. You'll discover the 7 plants that might be draining your energy, creating financial blockages, and preventing blessings from entering your life. But more importantly, I'll reveal which plants you should have instead, plants that attract protection, abundance, and harmony. These aren't just gardening tips. This is ancient spiritual wisdom that has been guarded for generations. Padre Pio himself understood the profound impact our environment has on our ability to receive God's grace. He taught that everything surrounding us affects our spiritual well-being, including the plants we choose to nurture in our homes. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt heavy or drained, or entered a space that instantly filled you with peace? That's the invisible energy at work, and plants are powerful conductors of these energies, either amplifying blessings or, sadly, sometimes blocking them. What's fascinating is how these plants operate on a spiritual level. Some act like spiritual sponges, absorbing the positive energy meant for you and your family. Others create invisible barriers that prevent prosperity from flowing, and some even attract negative influences that disrupt your home's harmony. But don't worry, recognizing these plants is the first step toward transformation. By making simple changes in your environment, you can open the pathways for blessings to flow abundantly. Countless families have experienced remarkable turnarounds in their finances, relationships, and overall well-being after implementing these changes. If you've been feeling that something in your home isn't quite right, unexplained financial struggles, constant arguments, or a persistent feeling of heaviness, stay with me until the end. The last plant I'll reveal is the most surprising one, and understanding its influence could be the breakthrough you've been praying for. Before we begin, if you believe in the power of your environment to shape your spiritual well-being, type "Bless my home" in the comments. This simple act affirms your intention to create a space where divine blessings can flow freely. Now let's discover these 7 plants and transform your home into a sanctuary of abundance and peace. Do you have any of these 7 plants in your home? They might be blocking your prosperity and spiritual peace. Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, your financial life just doesn't flow, as if something invisible is draining your energy and bringing constant difficulties? We often look for answers in external situations, but forget that the environment where we live has a direct impact on our spiritual and material life. The very plants that decorate your home could be silently affecting your ability to receive blessings and prosperity. What few people know is that certain plants might be preventing blessings from entering your home. Some species, despite their beauty, carry spiritual symbolism of stagnation, blockages, and even sadness. Throughout centuries of spiritual wisdom, certain plants have been recognized for their energy-draining properties, while others have been celebrated for their ability to attract divine favor and protection. Padre Pio, with his profound spiritual gifts, understood this connection deeply. He taught that our surroundings influence our connection with God and our ability to receive grace. He would often counsel his followers to be mindful of their environment, explaining that objects, colors, and yes, even plants carry energetic signatures that can either support or hinder our spiritual well-being. Your home, he would say, is the temple where your soul rests. Make sure it welcomes divine grace. This ancient wisdom isn't mere superstition. It's a recognition of the subtle energetic exchanges that happen between all living things. Plants, as living entities, interact with our own energy fields in ways that modern science is only beginning to understand. Some plants harmonize with our spiritual nature, while others can create discord or drain our vital energy. Today, you'll discover the 7 plants that might be draining your energy, blocking prosperity, and bringing difficulties into your life. These plants, while perhaps pleasing to the eye, could be the unseen obstacle between you and the abundance you've been praying for. The financial struggles, relationship tensions, or persistent feelings of heaviness in your home might have roots in these seemingly innocent decorative choices. But there's good news. This knowledge gives you the power to transform your environment immediately, and most importantly, I'll reveal the plants that can replace these negative energies, bringing protection, abundance, and harmony to your home. These beneficial plants act as spiritual allies, creating an atmosphere where divine blessings can flow freely and prosperity can take root. Imagine waking up in a home where every element supports your spiritual and material well-being, where the very air you breathe feels lighter, clearer, filled with possibility, where opportunities seem to arrive at your doorstep with surprising frequency. This transformation isn't mystical or out of reach. It begins with simple, practical changes to your environment that align with timeless spiritual wisdom. Countless people have experienced remarkable transformations after making these changes. A mother of 3 who had struggled with constant financial setbacks for years found that 30 days after replacing certain plants in her home, unexpected opportunities for abundance began to appear. A business owner who couldn't understand why his company remained stagnant despite his best efforts discovered that the plants decorating his office were energetically contradicting his prayers for growth. These stories aren't coincidences. They reflect the profound truth that our physical environment and spiritual reality are deeply interconnected. By bringing awareness to this connection and making intentional choices about the plants we welcome into our sacred spaces, we open new pathways for divine blessings to manifest in our lives. If you believe in the power of a blessed home, type "Protect my home" in the comments section below. This simple act affirms your intention to create a space that welcomes divine protection and abundance. Your comment also helps this important message reach others who might be experiencing unseen blockages in their lives. Now, let's uncover these plants that might be secretly affecting your prosperity and peace. Some of them might surprise you. They're often popular choices for home decoration, praised for their beauty or ease of care. But spiritual discernment asks us to look beyond physical appearance to understand the true nature and impact of what we bring into our sacred spaces. Pay close attention to each plant I'll describe. Notice if you recognize any of them from your own home. The awareness you gain today could be the key that finally unlocks the flow of abundance you've been praying for. Are you ready to transform your home into a sanctuary of divine blessings? Let's begin this journey of discovery together. The first problematic plant is ivy, Hydrangeas, which symbolizes disorder and lack of control. Ivy grows in an uncontrolled manner, covering everything around it. On a spiritual level, it represents financial and emotional disorganization and lack of balance. According to the teachings of saints like Saint Benedict, we should seek a home where order and peace reign, as this reflects a well-structured soul. To avoid this negative influence, replace ivy with rosemary or lavender, herbs known for their ability to purify environments, ward off negative energies, and strengthen faith. Many people who have removed ivy from their homes report feeling an immediate sense of clarity and organization in their thoughts and finances. One family shared how, after replacing the ivy that had been growing around their home for years with lavender plants, they finally managed to organize their finances and pay off debts that had been weighing them down for a long time. Padre Pio often spoke about the importance of order in our spiritual lives. He taught that external disorder often reflects internal chaos, and that by bringing harmony to our surroundings, we create space for divine blessings to manifest. Just as ivy can suffocate other plants as it grows without boundaries, its spiritual energy can suffocate the flow of abundance in your home. Another plant that might be harming your life is the peace lily. Despite its name, this plant can drain the vital energy from the environment, making it feel heavy. Many people report feeling tired and unmotivated near this plant. Padre Pio always emphasized the importance of discernment. Not everything that seems good actually strengthens us spiritually. To ward off spiritual and emotional blockages, replace the peace lily with a snake plant, also known as St. George's sword, a powerful plant against envy and negative energies, protecting the house against spiritual attacks. The snake plant has been used for centuries as a protective element in homes. Its strong, upright leaves symbolically cut through negative influences and create a barrier of protection. Unlike the peace lily, which absorbs energy, the snake plant amplifies positive vibrations and creates a shield of spiritual protection around your home. A woman from our community shared how she had kept peace lilies throughout her home for years, thinking they brought positive energy because of their name. She constantly battled fatigue and a feeling of heaviness that she couldn't explain. After learning about the spiritual properties of plants and replacing her peace lilies with snake plants, she experienced a remarkable transformation. More energy, clearer thinking, and a newfound sense of peace that was genuine and lasting. The lucky bamboo can also be a problem. It creates a sense of prosperity without effort, which can lead to passivity and conformism. As St. John Paul II said, "Faith without works is dead." True prosperity comes from action and trust in God. People who have lucky bamboo at home often report a feeling of complacency and difficulties in making important decisions. To attract true abundance and protection, choose to plant basil, known for attracting spiritual blessings and prosperity. Basil has been considered a sacred plant in many spiritual traditions. It's believed to open the channels for divine guidance and attract abundance that comes through honest work and spiritual alignment. Unlike lucky bamboo, which creates an illusion of effortless prosperity, basil encourages active participation in co-creating abundance with divine help. A small business owner shared how he had kept lucky bamboo plants in his office for years, believing they would bring financial success. His business remained stagnant despite his prayers for growth. When he replaced the bamboo with fresh basil plants, he noticed a shift in his own attitudes first. He became more proactive, creative, and determined. Within months, his business began to flourish as new opportunities appeared, seemingly out of nowhere. This transformation wasn't magical. It came through the combination of spiritual alignment and inspired action. These plants might seem harmless or even beneficial at first glance, but their spiritual influence can subtly affect your home's energy. By making these simple changes, you create an environment that supports rather than hinders your spiritual and material prosperity. Cacti are another plant with negative spiritual symbolism. Their sharp spines represent barriers that prevent the flow of blessings. If you constantly experience difficulties or isolate yourself without reason, observe if there are many cacti around you. In the spiritual world, they can be seen as a sign of resistance to change and growth. Padre Pio taught that we should always seek God's light to guide our path, without barriers that prevent us from evolving. To replace this energy of blockage and isolation, keep sunflowers in your home, as they bring light, joy, and expansion to your life. Many people don't realize how the defensive nature of cacti can manifest in their lives. A family that kept a collection of cacti near their home entrance shared how visitors would rarely come over, and when they did, conversations felt guarded and uncomfortable. When they replaced the cacti with bright sunflowers, they noticed an immediate change in the atmosphere. People began to visit more often, conversations flowed naturally, and the home felt more welcoming and open to blessings. Sunflowers have a powerful spiritual symbolism. They naturally turn toward the sun, representing our soul's natural inclination to turn toward divine light. By having sunflowers in your home, you create an environment that encourages spiritual growth, optimism, and openness to blessings. Ferns are also potentially draining your energies. These plants require a lot of water and care, representing a constant drain of energy and a spiritually exhausted environment. In homes where there are excessive ferns, it's common to feel tiredness, stagnation, and lack of progress. According to Christian spirituality teachings, we should avoid elements that overburden us and take away our peace. To renew the environment, replace ferns with lavender and rue, plants that cleanse energies and restore inner peace. The demanding nature of ferns reflects in the spiritual realm as constant energy drainage. Just as they continuously need water to survive, they can create a similar pattern in your home, where resources, energy, and even financial stability seem to require constant replenishment without ever reaching abundance. A teacher once shared her experience after removing several ferns from her apartment. She had been feeling chronically tired and financially drained for years, always living paycheck to paycheck despite careful budgeting. Within weeks of replacing the ferns with rue and lavender plants, she noticed her energy levels improving. More surprisingly, she began to receive unexpected financial blessings and opportunities that helped her build savings for the first time in years. For those of you seeking to deepen your spiritual protection and enhance your home's blessed environment, I have something special to share. Our ebook, The Spiritual Secrets of St. Padre Pio, contains powerful prayers, reflections based on his teachings, and practical advice to strengthen your spirituality. This resource will help you implement the principles we're discussing today and much more. Click on the link pinned in the comments to discover how this content can transform your spiritual journey and create lasting protection for your home and family. Now let's continue with our journey through plants that may be affecting your prosperity. Bonsai trees, despite their elegance, represent limited growth and lack of progress. A bonsai is a plant that's pruned to remain small, symbolizing limitations in financial and personal life. Many people report that after removing a bonsai, they felt a renewal in their home and finances. The symbolism of limited growth may be preventing the expansion of your blessings. To stimulate prosperity and liberation, choose plants like mint or Amazonian lily, which symbolize spiritual growth and renewal. There's a profound spiritual lesson in the bonsai's cultivated limitation. While we admire its beauty, we often fail to recognize what it represents: potential constrained by external forces. In nature, the same tree would grow tall and expansive, reaching toward the sky. The bonsai teaches us to question: are we allowing our spiritual and material prosperity to be artificially limited? A business consultant shared a remarkable story about a client whose office featured several beautiful bonsai trees. Despite excellent business strategies, the company remained the same size year after year, never expanding beyond its initial success. After learning about the spiritual symbolism of bonsai, the owner replaced them with vibrant mint plants. Within months, the business began to expand, new opportunities emerged, and the team grew both in size and creative capacity. Mint carries ancient spiritual significance as a plant of abundance and expansion. Its ability to spread and grow vigorously represents unlimited potential and prosperity. By introducing mint into your home, you're symbolically inviting this same expansive energy into your life and removing the artificial limitations that may have been holding back your blessings. Finally, we have the hydrangea, a plant with a beautiful appearance, but with a strong association to sadness and emotional difficulties. It's linked to feelings of isolation and melancholy. Many homes where hydrangeas are present suffer from arguments, distancing between family members, and even financial crises. Padre Pio teaches us that the home should be a place of harmony, where God's presence is felt in every corner. If you want to attract more happiness and light into your home, replace hydrangeas with sunflowers, which symbolize joy, optimism, and divine blessings. The connection between hydrangeas and emotional heaviness has been observed across many cultures. Their changing colors, which depend on the soil's acidity, can symbolize emotional instability and shifting moods. In contrast, sunflowers remain steadfast in their bright appearance, representing emotional stability and consistent joy. A mother of 3 shared how her family home had beautiful hydrangeas in the garden and has cut flowers inside. For years, the family experienced unusual tension, frequent arguments, and a persistent feeling of sadness that seemed to have no clear cause. After learning about the spiritual influence of plants, she replaced the hydrangeas with sunflowers. The transformation in the family's dynamics was remarkable. Communication improved, laughter returned to their home, and a sense of hope and optimism pervaded where melancholy had once dominated. Now that you know which plants might be blocking your life, it's time to act. Inspect your home and observe if you have any of these plants. If you decide to dispose of any of them, do so with respect, praying and asking God to purify your space. Choose to replace them with plants that bring protection and prosperity. Padre Pio himself teaches us that for an environment to be truly blessed, it needs to be spiritually protected. Therefore, when removing any plant, say this liberation prayer to consecrate your house to divine grace. Lord, bless this home, removing all negative energy, all spiritual blockage, and all forces contrary to your will. May the light of your grace illuminate this house and bring us peace, prosperity, and protection. Amen. Now I want to hear from you. Do you have any of these plants in your home? Have you ever felt a different energy around them? Share your experience in the comments. Your testimony can help other people free themselves from spiritual blockages and find a path of prosperity and faith. Remember, making these changes isn't about superstition. It's about creating an environment that supports your spiritual and material well-being. The plants we choose to nurture in our homes carry symbolism and energy that can either uplift or hinder our connection to divine blessing. Padre Pio often reminded his followers that everything in our physical world has spiritual significance. Nothing is truly neutral. As you begin this transformation in your home, approach it with prayer and intention. Each plant you remove should be done with gratitude for what it has taught you. Each new plant you introduce should be welcomed with the clear intention of inviting specific blessings into your space. This intentional approach amplifies the spiritual benefits of the changes you're making. Many people have experienced profound transformations after adjusting the plant energy in their homes. Financial situations that had been stagnant for years suddenly began to improve. Family relationships healed and flourished. Opportunities appeared where before there seemed to be only closed doors. The spiritual atmosphere of homes shifted from heavy and oppressive to light and nurturing. One particularly moving testimony came from a widow who had kept her late husband's collection of cacti and bonsai plants. For years after his passing, she felt stuck in grief, unable to move forward. Her home felt frozen in time, and so did her life. After learning about the spiritual symbolism of these plants, she made the difficult decision to give them away to her husband's friends who would appreciate them. She replaced them with sunflowers, basil, and mint, plants of expansion, abundance, and joy. The transformation she experienced was profound, not just in her home's atmosphere, but in her ability to honor her husband's memory while also embracing new possibilities for her life. Your home is meant to be a sanctuary, a place where God's blessings can flow freely, where prayers are strengthened, and where your spirit can find rest and renewal. By being mindful of the plants you welcome into this sacred space, you're taking an active role in creating an environment that nurtures your spiritual and material prosperity. If this message has touched your heart today, write "Blessed Home" in the comments. Your comment helps this message reach more people who might be experiencing unexplained blockages in their lives. And if you know someone who might benefit from this spiritual wisdom, share this video with them. It could be the missing piece they've been searching for. Remember to check the pinned comment for access to our special resource, The Spiritual Secrets of Saint Padre Pio, a treasure of prayers and wisdom to further protect and bless your home. May Padre Pio's blessing illuminate your home and your life. May you experience the joy of a space that is truly aligned with divine abundance, where prosperity flows freely and spiritual peace abounds. Your home isn't just where you live, it's where you manifest your spiritual connection to God's infinite blessings. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. Until next time, keep your heart and your home open to divine grace.